Welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today because we're going to be tackling a topic that completely flips traditional financial wisdom right on its head. To kick things off, I want you to just use your imagination for a quick second. Imagine waking up tomorrow morning, turning on the news, and seeing what sounds like the greatest financial headline in history, flashing across every single channel.
Imagine the headline: India has repaid every single rupee of debt. Just think about that apparent utopia for a moment. No loans hanging over the country, no massive interest payments eating up the national budget, zero borrowing. The country is officially, completely debt-free. Now, since childhood, we've all been taught the exact same golden rule, haven't we? Debt is inherently bad. Never take out loans. Always live within your means. So wiping the national slate clean sounds like absolute perfection, right?
But here is the hook, and it's a really big one. What if I told you that a debt-free country could actually become poorer? I know, it sounds like a complete paradox, but consider this. Almost every major, highly developed economy on Earth, we're talking the United States, Japan, the United Kingdom, France, Germany, and India, all owe trillions of dollars. In fact, some countries actually owe more than the value of everything they produce in an entire year, yet they continue to borrow. So today, the goal of this explainer is to decode exactly the logic behind national borrowing, why countries actually need debt, and why aiming for zero debt might literally be the worst financial move a nation could make.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1. A country is not your family.
The fundamental error almost everyone makes when looking at national borrowing is taking simple, everyday household logic and applying it to an entire national economy. Think about a typical family budget for a second. If a family makes, say, 10 lakh rupees a year and they want to buy a 1 crore rupee house, they face a pretty tough choice. They usually have to wait and save for 10 long years before they can build, simply because their income is strictly limited to their salaries. But national economies, they don't operate like that at all. Governments collect taxes from millions of people and thousands of businesses via GST, corporate tax, income tax, and customs duties. Because they have this massive, guaranteed future income stream, governments can borrow against those future taxes today to build things that actually create wealth for everyone. They don't just borrow to spend, they borrow to invest.
Which brings us to Section 2, building tomorrow with today's money.
So how does a government actually invest to create growth, instead of just waiting around for decades to collect those taxes? Well, think about a really massive number, 15 lakh crore rupees. Suppose a nation wants to dramatically modernize. They need to build 20 new expressways, 10 brand new airports, thousands of schools, modern hospitals, high-speed rail networks, power plants, and vast digital infrastructure. Let's say 15 lakh crore is the estimated total cost. Now ask yourself, should the nation wait 20 long years to collect enough tax money to build all of this? If they wait, economic growth slows down, vital jobs disappear, trade becomes wildly expensive, and businesses just stagnate. It's a waiting game they literally can't afford to play.
So what do successful economies do instead? They follow a highly productive three-step cycle. Step 1, borrow today. Step 2, build immediately. Step 3, the economy grows and taxes naturally increase. By taking out a loan, construction begins right now. Millions of people get immediate jobs. Factories start pumping us cement and steel. Transport becomes faster and cheaper. And because of all this explosive new activity, businesses grow rapidly and people earn more money. And when people earn more, tax collection increases. So the loan literally helps create more income than it initially cost. That is the absolute magic of productive debt.
All right, Section 3. Who actually lends money to governments?
This naturally leads to a very logical question. Who on earth actually has enough money lying around to lend to an entire country? Well, the answer might surprise you, because it's definitely not a single mega billionaire. The lenders are actually all around us. We're talking banks, insurance companies, pension funds, mutual funds, foreign investors, central banks, and yes, even ordinary citizens like you and me. But governments don't just walk up to a local bank teller and ask for a $1 trillion loan. Instead, they gather these massive funds from all these different groups, using a very specific financial tool. And that tool is the government bond. Think of a bond as a formal IOU. An entity, say a pension fund, lends money to the government. In return, the government promises to repay that money, along with a little interest, after a fixed period of time. Now, what's absolutely crucial to understand here is that government bonds are considered one of the safest investments in the entire world. Why? Because unlike a private company that might go out of business, governments have the ultimate, legally backed power to collect taxes to ensure they can repay their lenders.
Section 4. Why not just print more money? Now, you might be wondering, if governments literally control the supply of money, why bother borrowing at all? Let's walk systematically through the chronological disaster of printing money without increasing actual production. Step 1. Imagine the government just prints 20 lakh crore rupees overnight. Step 2. The actual goods and services in the country, the number of houses, cars, food items, and phones remain exactly the same. Step 3. Prices absolutely explode. Suddenly, everyone has pockets stuffed full of cash, but they're all competing to buy the exact same limited amount of goods. Money rapidly loses its value. History has shown us time and time again that printing unlimited money doesn't create wealth, it creates hyperinflation. Borrowing, however, allows governments to raise necessary funds without immediately flooding the economy with newly printed, devalued currency.
Moving to Section 5. Debt saves countries during crises.
You see, borrowing isn't just about building wealth. Sometimes it's about absolute survival. Imagine a sudden catastrophic event, like a global pandemic, where normal economic activity freezes and tax revenues suddenly fall off a cliff. Businesses are forced to close. Millions of people lose their jobs overnight. Hospitals desperately need expensive, life-saving equipment. Vaccines have to be purchased globally at premium prices. Food must be distributed to poor families just to prevent starvation. Government spending rises dramatically precisely when their tax revenue is vanishing. In these extreme situations, borrowing is the absolute only way a government can act quickly enough to prevent total societal collapse and ensure a faster recovery for everyone.
But we have to look at the other side too. Section 6, when debt becomes dangerous.
So, the crucial point to neutrally understand here is that debt itself is not the villain. Misusing it is. And this brings us to the dreaded debt trap. A debt trap is basically a vicious cycle of borrowing solely to repay old loans. Imagine a government completely stops borrowing to build infrastructure, hospitals, or education. Instead, they borrow just to keep the lights on and pay off the interest on past debts. Eventually, those interest payments become so massive that they eat up the entire budget, economic growth slows to a halt, and investors completely lose confidence. It is a highly unsustainable path that absolutely ruins economies.
Which leads us directly to a pretty terrifying question. Can a country actually go bankrupt? The short answer is yes. Countries can default, meaning they completely fail to repay their debt as promised. When a nation defaults, the consequences are severe. Foreign investment rapidly declines, the national currency weakens dramatically, inflation spikes, and any future borrowing becomes astronomically expensive. It can take years, even decades, for a nation to recover from that. And this is exactly why responsible governments try so hard to maintain their debt at sustainable levels.
Finally, Section 7. The real purpose of national debt.
Ultimately, debt itself is neither inherently good nor inherently bad. It is merely a neutral financial tool. There's smart debt, which is money borrowed to build things that improve long-term productivity for decades. Highways, metro systems, ports, schools, ISS aerospace missions, digital India infrastructure, renewable energy grids. And then there's reckless borrowing, which creates inflation, necessitates higher taxes, and causes deep financial instability. The crucial point you should take away from this entire explainer is that having zero debt is not the goal of a modern economy. The goal is smart debt. Countries simply don't become rich by avoiding borrowing, they become rich by investing borrowed money wisely. Which leaves us with this paradigm-shifting quote: don't ask how much debt, ask what that debt is building. The next time you hear a news report about the national debt increasing, I challenge you to look beyond the immediate price tag. So I'll leave you with this question to ponder. If your nation is borrowing billions today, what exactly is it building for your tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.